Welcome to this evening's regularly scheduled NUSD board meeting. We'd like to note that this meeting is being broadcast on the NUSD YouTube channel at the direction of the board. Those broadcasts may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. If you would like to make a public comment on any item on agenda or not on agenda, please see staff at the side table for a comment card. We will now say the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Trustee Novato will now report out on closed session.
Good evening. The board met in closed session on the following items. Conference with legal counsel, settlement of pending litigation, gave direction, public employee discipline dismissal release, information only.
We are now at approval of this evening's agenda. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve this evening's agenda? Trustee Pickus, thank you. And a second by Trustee Lametta, thank you. All in favor of approving this evening's agenda? We have 5, none opposed. Next is the consent agenda. Are there any items that anyone would like to pull? Okay, hearing none, do we have an approval of the consent agenda? First by Trustee Gasson, a second by Trustee Pickus. We do have a few comments. Go ahead and make those.
So I just wanted to acknowledge and thank the Haas Foundation for the grant for the Bridges program at Marin Oaks. Really appreciate that. And then we also will be approving the the MOU with Marin County Office of Ed for Medi-Cal billing, and that's just really important. It's a way for us to capitalize or strengthen our ability to and successfully get Medi-Cal reimbursement. So thank you for coordinating that.
Any other discussion? Nope. Okay, all in favor of approval of the consent agenda? 5, none opposed. Thank you so much. Okay, we now have announcements, starting with Trustee Pickus.
I'm at the end of the row here. No major announcements, just welcome back to everybody, and thank you to all of you who didn't actually leave and were just here doing a lot of work over the summer, so much appreciation.
Ditto to that, and I have no other announcements.
Okay, I had 2 and I can't find them. Oh, here it is. So I met yesterday or Monday. I don't remember what day. Oh, yesterday was Monday. I don't think I'm ready to come back from summer break. I am going to be co-chairing JLAC again, along with Kimberly McGrath from Reed. She'll be the superintendent representative. So we met with Lisa Miller from MCOE to discuss the coming year. I had some ideas and just thought it would be nice for us to get together since I really didn't do much last year. And so we had a conversation about the coming year. So it's going to be really exciting. We're going to add a couple of elements to that. So looking forward to, especially with this year and how I'm sure it's going to have a lot of interesting things that we'll be talking about. They're happening at California and at the federal level. And then I also just wanted to mention I participated in Marin Rapid Response Legal Observer Training, and I only mention that because I think it's really important when we have those conversations about when ICE shows up and what to do. If anyone's interested, I'm happy to share the information, but it was really helpful to understand our rights and the rights of property owners and things like that, and what we can do to support families that might be impacted by ICE taking someone away.
Good evening. I'm just excited to be back. Welcome back. Thank you.
Yeah, also happy to be here. I had the pleasure of participating in our district leadership team retreat for half of the day. It was a wonderful conversation with all of our leaders, and we had a fun cooking activity, which a lot of the kids in our district participate in cooking labs with the people who put this on, Wellness in the Schools. They are looking for donors. If anyone is interested, you can find them on the internet. And it was just really great to have all of the excitement about our coming year together.
All right, so as a follow-up to Julie's comments, Dr. Kessa Early did a wonderful job developing us all professionally. And Cody and Kate put together just a really great team building activity, and we made some delicious food. So shout out to our very own staff. And then the rest of all of us and teachers, et cetera, we're working on preparation and professional development. So we've gone to conferences on transitional kindergarten. We have proficiency-based education training next week here, somewhere that has a big enough venue for all of us who are interested. We have some math training this week. We have the not so fun but important intruder training that's happening at San Jose Middle School on Thursday. That's a county-wide training that we are hosting. And then opening day will be on the 18th, so that'll be the day before our next board meeting, and we will be at San Marin.
Okay, our next agenda item is non-agenda public comment. As I see none, we will move to item 11A, the review and approval of board policy updates in the zeros section. First reading. We have Dr. Sanyard here for that.
Hey, thank you. The first board policy that I'm bringing for first read is Board Policy 0440, our district technology plan. And the superintendent shall develop and regularly update a comprehensive district technology plan that evaluates NUSD's current use of technology while anticipating future needs. This plan will ensure that all technological resources provided to students and staff are aligned with our district goals and current policies. These include, but are not limited to, guidelines on artificial intelligence, academic integrity, data privacy, non-discrimination, copyright compliance, appropriate student and employee use of technology, and overall digital conduct. The plan will also articulate the digital competencies students are expected to develop, including digital citizenship, social media awareness, and AI literacy. Additionally, the plan shall outline the district's approach to responding to cyber attacks, including communication protocols and safeguards, while preserving the confidentiality necessary to protect the district's cyber work framework. And so in the coming year, we will be developing a plan. We have our AI technology committee, and we have some really good, strong outlines of stuff that we're already doing that we will create and put a draft coming forward in the coming weeks. And this is just for a first read for the BP 0440.
Just sort of a tangential question, which is maybe kind of connected with something you said. In the development of an AI policy for the district, are you working with other districts to see what other people are doing? Is there any kind of alignment there?
Yes, absolutely. We have a strong relationship with San Rafael. The County Office of Education has been helping us. And also we had the good fortune to attend an AI conference, and a number of the districts that were there shared their resources. So we've got a really good start of how to develop this, and we are going to be more than happy to share and learn from our colleagues.
Dana and her team have also attended several sessions at conferences that they've attended throughout this last school year.
Okay, we can move to approve this. It will come back as a second reading on consent at a future meeting, and we'll look forward to the plan as it unfolds. Anyone like to make a motion to approve this item?
I'll move for approval.
Trustee Pickus, thank you. Second. Trustee Lametta. All in favor? 5, thank you. Thank you. Next item is 11B. This is the first reading of another board policy that Julie's going to give us. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I was looking at the wrong thing. Artificial intelligence, thank you. That's why.
Yes. And kind of as this kind of complements the policy that was just mentioned, BP 0441, artificial intelligence, it's recognizing the transformative potential of artificial intelligence to enhance teaching and learning. It establishes a foundation for the development of a cohesive district policy that integrates the use of AI through clear guidelines and expectations, all aimed at supporting the growth and success of both students and staff. The policy will be anchored in 9 guiding principles, which will be collaboratively reviewed, discussed, and refined. And these principles include the personalization of learning and how we're going to best leverage AI to help students and staff for individual learning needs. Staff support. How are we going to utilize AI to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of staff and fulfilling their professional duties? Focus on ethical and transparent use, ensuring that AI is implemented responsibly with a commitment to fairness. Accountability, defining clear expectations for appropriate and acceptable AI use by both staff and students. Equitable access, guaranteeing that all students benefit from AI tools and opportunities, regardless of background or circumstance. Privacy and security, prioritizing the protection of student and staff data in all AI applications. Professional development, providing ongoing training and support to equip educators and staff with the skills needed to effectively integrate AI. Community education, engaging and informing families about the role, benefits, and limitations of AI in education. And finally, continuous improvement, committing to regularly evaluating and refining our AI practices, policies, and implementation strategies. And so this will be something that we will be developing again in addition to the district technology plan. This will be a significant portion of this. While we currently have AI guidelines for students, we created those last year. We're going to go through those, make sure they're still relevant, and make sure that all our staff and students understand the use of AI, especially, again, and folks related to academic honesty, use of AI, citing, resources, all that wonderful stuff that's coming.
Just in the policy, it talks about other policies that are related.
Mm-hmm.
Have you reviewed those recently? I know we've had them at the board table, but I just want to make sure that staff feels that we're in a good spot with those.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm confident. And then if we need to change them, or if there's any new tweaks that we need to,
Yeah.
I'm going
But
to
I
bring
think
them all
they're-
back to you
At the
guys.
most part, they're fairly
Yes.
up to date.
They
Yeah.
are.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
And there's done a lot of the board review this summer, so good.
So Trustee Butler and I often kind of think along the same lines, and my question is focused on the fact that I know that we've talked about AI, and I think for me, I had a change of how I was looking at AI. I was thinking it more like you know, kids should or shouldn't use or whatever those protocols, and then the staff and how they're using it, maybe like in their curriculum or teaching. But will there be policy or practice about what you can use to determine if a student is using AI or not? I think I raised this at another matter, but I saw the student assessment and stuff. I don't know where that would fit, but the acknowledgement that how are you determining if a student is using AI and the protocols or the practices around that?
I think we're going to have to definitely spend some time thinking about that. One of the concerns with a lot of the AI, like if a student, I'll use an essay, for example, if a student's putting a paper through, there's a lot of AI detection tools that aren't always accurate. So they get false positive or something along those lines. So I think the more that we can do in terms of expectations, use AI this is how you can use AI. This is how you cannot. I think that needs to be obviously front-loaded significantly for our students. That being said, we're going to have to still look at, but they've had these kind of AI checkers or plagiarism checkers since back in the day. What was the one? Turnitin.com. There's a lot of programs that are already like that. We're not currently using one at this point, but that's something that when we talk to staff, if that's an issue that we're continuing to see, then we'll need to investigate that.
Okay, so it would be directive from us on what they could use. Then I just want to make sure that we're equal across all sites and all teachers, that we're doing the same thing. So if a teacher decides to use some kind of, to your point, I'm learning that they're not all accurate. And so I don't want students to be penalized because something went through a tool.
Right.
And that we didn't give guidance or, it's a little finite area of the whole thing, but just something I would like to see with whatever policy we have covering that. Like, what are the protocols? Like, is there a standard, or is there a way to challenge that, a student's opportunity to say, no, I didn't use AI, understanding that they may be able to use AI in certain circumstances, but that it's not knocking their grade down because of some perception that they did use AI.
Right.
So.
And I think, and as Trustee Butler has just mentioned, in terms of looking at our policies. So for example, we updated our academic honesty policy last year. And one of the things too, as we move towards standards-based grading, and we have these 6 C's, so kind of looking at that, and if we're talking about plagiarism or cheating or something along those lines, so that you're not necessarily penalizing a student in terms of grade portions, because if it's standards-based grading, you're not showing that the student mastered a concept. You had an issue with cheating or plagiarism or something like that, and we can talk about that in the 6C area. Let's talk about conscientious learner, things along those lines. So as we're moving towards standards-based grading specifically too, you didn't demonstrate any mastery. If this was the case, if we did catch a student or something along those lines. So really having those discussions, so I can guarantee you guys the academic honesty policy, that one's gonna come back to you to make sure that we're clear with that one. And that being said, we really wanna make sure that we're teaching students how to use AI appropriately so that we don't get into situations where it's going to be, we didn't handle this correctly and grade penalization, that kind of thing.
I think maybe a future staff report related to AI when how we're rolling it out.
Sure.
Something would be helpful for this board, I think, and so we have a good idea of what's happening.
Perfect.
Because right now I'm kind of uncertain of what exactly really is going to happen.
Mhm.
I'd like to know a little bit more detail.
Okay, great.
Would anyone like to move that we approve this and it is coming back on consent as well? Trustee Gasson, thank you. Second. Trustee Pickus. All in favor? 5, none opposed. Thank you. Our next item is 11C. This is review and approve board policy updates in the 6000 series. We have reading, language arts instruction, science instruction, history, social studies instruction.
Perfect. And so I am grouping all of these policies into kind of one discussion here. And to address the requirements outlined in Education Codes 51210 and 51220, the district is presenting these 3 policies for first reading. These policies are very similar in that they define the district's course of study and affirm the use of Common Core standards, the Next Generation Science standards, and other applicable California content standards to guide instructional practice. They also support the implementation of a comprehensive, standards-aligned curriculum and establish clear expectations for professional development to ensure staff are well-equipped to deliver high-quality instruction in reading, language arts, history, social sciences, and science. And I want to draw particular attention to the reading and language arts policy, which addresses Ed Code 53088. And this provision requires that districts adopt a universal screening instrument to assess all students in grades K through 2 for risk factors associated with reading difficulties, including potential neurological disorders such as dyslexia. This policy represents a critical step in ensuring early identification and support for students who may benefit from targeted reading interventions. And so I'm asking for a first read, please.
Do we have a screener as a district that we've selected?
Yes, we do. We are using M-Class through Dibbles.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
We will be, with the help of the Marin County Office of Education, we will be preparing communications out to parents describing what a reading screener is, what its purpose is, how they would get information on this, just because it's very new in terms of how it's being described to parents.
Well, and I know that there's a lot of fear around, like, are we going to over-identify kids with certain needs? I think there's a lot of, like, narrative, like fear-based or hesitancy maybe around the narrative around using this, but it's such a good tool to help us address kids' needs early. So that communication piece, I think, will be really important.
Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was just thinking, sometimes your kid comes home and you're like, you did what? And so is it just is it you get pulled aside to have it at a certain time? Like when you used to get, we still do ear or hearing and eye test, right? Okay. Yes. That's kind of cool. Thank you.
Each of these policies, the last paragraph addresses what the superintendent or designee should do. So I just want to highlight that.
Yes.
That something needs to come before the board. Or reported to the board in some way, which I think we're probably doing. That would be my guess.
Yes.
I mean, maybe one of them would be maybe science. I don't know that we've had.
No, but and we can start working with the CAST results. Yeah. So things along those lines. Yeah. Yes. Stuff that's coming your way.
Okay. Just wanted to highlight that.
Okay, this will also be coming back for a second reading on consent. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve these three as one policies? Trustee Butler, thank you. Second? Trustee Pickus, thank you. All in favor? 5, none opposed. Thank you. Our next item is 11D. This is being brought to us by Francesca Whitcomb. Approval of resolution number 1, 2025-2026, local assignment notification for the 25-26 school year.
Hi there, good evening. Welcome back. This first item, resolution number 1, 25-26. This is an annual resolution that's brought before the board. It is typically the process is that we bring this before the teachers return to their teaching assignments so that you can see any of our teachers that are placed in assignments where there isn't a credential for the particular assignment, or the teacher doesn't hold the specific credential, but they have other means by which they are authorized to teach in the assignment. There are names on here that you wouldn't necessarily previously have seen. We are listing now all the transitional kindergarten teachers, for one example. We are following the advice from the County Office of Education Credentials Analyst, as well as kind of the process that other districts in the county are doing in including them on this list, and having the board basically approve how we consider those teachers appropriately qualified if they don't hold the specific TK to 2 credential. And then there are some people that have changed assignments. They're teaching something differently that maybe they haven't taught before. So that's why they're on this list now as well. And just important to note that as we go through the school year, there may be other things that come to our attention as far as assignments. And so we can always bring a revised list before you all later in the school year.
Questions or comments? Okay, we need a first and second, and then we have a roll call vote.
First.
Trustee Pickus, thank you. Second. Trustee Gasson, thank you. Trustee Alexander is absent. Trustee Butler.
Aye.
Trustee Gasson.
Aye.
Trustee Jacobson, aye. Trustee Lametta.
Aye.
Trustee Mack is absent. Trustee Pickus.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, 11E, this is the approval of Commission on Teacher Credentialing, Emergency Credential Permit Application for newly hired staff.
Right, so this item, this may be something that's new to you seeing, and that is because it was brought to our attention at the end of last school year that one of the requirements for issuance of an emergency permit is obtaining formal approval from the Board of Trustees. We typically had been including information about them being hired on a short-term staff permit or other types of emergency permits on the PAR report. The mic is really hot tonight for some reason. And so it's called out specifically on the PAR when we're doing that, but this is actually the more appropriate process. And just food for thought, this is one person, and in previous years we have had a lot more. I don't have the specific number, but Jess and I in my office were talking about it recently. Several more have been the norm for the last couple of years. So that's exciting. We have this one this year.
So thank you for explaining that, but it would be something in theory we just do once a year, but if it's for any time we need this, it would come before the board again. Okay.
Yes. So if for some reason, for example, we don't find a math teacher for someone that we need, and then we have to hire someone on a short-term staff permit to fill that vacancy, that will be coming before you guys on the board action. Mm-hmm.
Okay, would anyone like to make a motion to approve this item? Trustee Lametta, thank you. second? Trustee Pickus, thank you. All in favor? 5, none opposed. And 11F, we have the approval of a new job description, custodial lead. This is a first reading.
Right, this item is bringing before you your review of this job description for a new classified position of custodial lead as a first reading. This is a position that is new, effective this school year, and it has been negotiated with CSEA during our spring negotiations. They did have it go through their whole, it's called a 610 approval process. It's gone through that, including being ratified by their local chapter membership on July 17th. As kind of overviewed in the cover, basically we are making some shifts in leadership and supervision in the maintenance and operations department. And the creation of this position is going to help with the operations manager of the day-to-day supervision of all of our custodial staff, helping to provide training, support, having like another person that's available to our staff every day during the week for not supervision. That will still be the PM custodians would still be supervised by the operations manager. The day custodian staff are still supervised by their site administrator.
I just noticed on the requirements, it seems like maybe, or is it also that they need to be this AFO and CPO? Are those for all positions, or is it unique to this one? The aquatic facility operator and certified pool operator?
Yes, so this, I'm on the wrong page, but this is kind of in a line with one of our custodial positions, the custodian 4 position, is currently the only other position that has these certifications called out on there. And so by having this included, then that way they can help provide that training and support of that person.
I just noticed and thought that seemed like a unique thing for a lead, and at least having somebody, but so that sounds good. Thank you.
Any additional questions or a motion to approve this as a first reading? It will come back on consent. Trustee Gasson with a first and second by Trustee Lametta. All in favor? 5, none opposed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this evening. We have our next meeting is a special meeting on August 12th, and our next regular meeting is August 19th. We are adjourned.